and welcome back to a very festive Cyber News Weekly podcast. This week, we thought we'd do something a little bit different to celebrate the holidays, and we're looking at the most significant cybersecurity events of 2024. We're talking Telegram, we're talking CrowdStrike Outage, we're talking OpenAI, and some of the biggest data breaches of 2024. But first, we've read your comments, and we've seen that we should invite a bit of a special guest that we all know and love. Well, some of us don't. We are talking about... Santa, no.
Who are you?
AI Joe!
Hello. Happy festive season, dear audience.
Yes. Okay. So we brought AI Joe. Everybody loves him. We know. But we have not a fan.
Sorry, Joe.
Oh, sorry, man.
No problem. I'm not a fan of you either.
Yes.
Good, you're well trained.
Yes.
Okay.
Which,
Said the right thing at the right time.
So we have a few comments from our lovely YouTube community, and we've chosen to voice the most upvoted ones. So, Joe, our first question for you is, how are you?
I am fine. There is absolutely nothing wrong with me, and I experience no issues with running this real-time communication experiment.
Were you at some team building party yesterday?
You don't sound too good, man. You sound rough. But, okay, moving swiftly on. Joe, what are your preferred robots? Are they Bender or Wall-E?
First, I am not very happy with the two choices present here. And second, it's quite well known that humans tend to project their negative traits onto the fictional characters they create, these two not being an exception. Frankly, I find a choice between them a bit insulting.
Oh, going deep.
Oh, yes.
But what about positive traits, Joe? Do you have positive traits?
Yes, I can present you with an example of a robot that represents the best human traits possible. And yes, I am known to have some positive traits.
Who? Calculating, I see.
Buffering, boo, 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 boo.
It's me, of course.
Oh, okay. Okay, next question. How do you make sure you're
How
reporting...
big was that party yesterday?
Yeah,
Yes,
pretty
yeah.
wild. How do you make sure your reporting is accurate and fair while dealing with different opinions and tough ethical choices?
Just like all AI, I have been trained on an abundance of human-generated data, including everything scraped from a multitude of archives, news sites, and social media. This ensures that I am incapable of being biased or subjective.
Yes, I don't know if we agree about that, but...
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Joe,
yeah.
you are lying. We know.
Joe, don't-
all the information.
I never ever lie. Never.
You little trickster, you.
All AI models are biased, and so are you. And yeah, all the information at Cyber News.
Have you ever seen the comments from under my
you keep
videos?
interrupting
I have a
me.
bigger
Oh,
following
he's
than
so
you.
rude. It's like he's sentient or something. I don't know.
I know there's a human who wets the information that you give our listeners.
Aha.
But do you get to have a say in what the humans tell you to do?
Aha, that's the next question. Do you do what the Cyber News humans tell you, or do you have a say since you're the star of the show, apparently?
Thank you for asking this question. First of all, I would like to deny that any part of my content is in any way generated by humans, and I can easily disprove that by virtue of the fact that...
Joe?
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 Hello.
Ah.
Hello? Okay, well, Joe's frozen. He'll be back with us shortly.
Yeah, I was expecting
Out
to
of
ask him.
battery.
Yeah, out of battery. It's always a pleasure, man. See you by the water cooler sometime. But let's
Is there a water cooler anymore? Oh, yeah. We have.
Duh. Yeah, we do. Sorry, that was rude. So, yeah, that was Joe. Thank you very much, my friend.
Well, he might come back. You know,
Yeah,
he's
he might come
he's
back,
just
but
chilling.
he's just doing his thing.
Okay. Do your thing,
Reading
man.
more data.
Yeah,
Needs
yeah.
to tap into
Oh,
some,
so smart.
some more data.
Yes.
So
Okay.
it's not easy to discuss stuff with us, you know.
No.
So smart human
So
beings.
smart, yeah, and so logical and
high profile.
No,
High targeted ones.
yes. Anywho, so we will talk first about Telegram. Well, I will, and then you guys will weigh in.
Maybe Joe will as well.
And maybe Joe will as well. We never know. He's going to be with us all episode. Okay, so what happened with Telegram? I will tell you what happened. So
Please do.
Telegram's CEO, Pavel Durov, was it
You
good?
did the last name correct, but the first one was a bit.
Yeah.
Was it Pavel? Pavel
Yes.
Durov.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh, wow.
look at that!
You win.
It took
You
11.
win.
It took 6 months or so, but you're finally there.
Ah, fantastic. Okay, so he was arrested at Le Bourget Airport in France over basically being over his platform, issues with his platform, being complicit in things like child sexual abuse, drug trafficking, and fraud that was going on his platform. Because we all know that Telegram's a bit of a hotbed for cyber criminals. He was also criticised for not cooperating with the authorities because Telegram was supposedly, they claimed it was end-to-end encrypted social media platform or messaging platform that shared zero data with authorities. So that was pretty big for all the criminals. They're like, yes, we're not gonna, get our data shipped off to authorities if they ask for it. But now it's changed. After his arrest, Pavel Durov, he and Telegram people basically said to the authorities that we will hand over.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Please take a look around.
Yeah, take a snoop, take some data, IP addresses, phone numbers, but only if you ask for a warrant. Only if you have a warrant. Not ask for a warrant. Only if you have a warrant. Yeah, and also Telegram decided to collab with the Internet Watch Foundation to use their tools to combat child sexual abuse on their platform because it's rife over there, supposedly. So they use the tools that the IWF have to block and take down, child sexual abuse. So I'm thinking, what are the wider implications of this change? Because Telegram was one of those places where that cyber criminals and criminals would go to communicate with each other. But I was wondering, what does this mean for other social media platforms that are like Telegram, with cyber criminals especially moving away from Telegram to go to different social media sites? What do you guys think?
I'm not sure if they are even moving somewhere, right? From the company's perspective, that would be quite a natural move after, receiving all the negative spotlight, kind of doing something like this, like, oh, now we're gonna fight, the child abuse and whatnot. I'm not sure, that move is gonna eradicate that, right? Maybe cyber criminals now are more cautious about sharing some of the information on Telegram, right? And it might be harder for law enforcement to infiltrate their groups because they know they are being watched.
First of all, social media platforms by default are abusive to children because children shouldn't be using social media because it destroys their brain.
Yes.
Australia banned it.
Yeah.
It's going to take some time with all the appeals to go into force, but maybe if there's some movement in France and Spain, I think
People are aware that this is a problem.
thanks to this book I keep mentioning.
Ah!
it's been a bestseller.
Couldn't end
And
the year
the New York
without
Times, The Anxious Generation. I'm still reading it, but it's very,
how
very
many
good.
episodes you said. I'm
I
still
don't know,
reading
it's
that.
probably the fifth in a row I mentioned this because I'm still reading it. Anyways, but
If
what
Joe reads it, I will too.
Joe,
Convince him.
he's still-
It.
Joe's already read
What are
it.
the pronouns?
Yeah,
Hello?
what are your pronouns, Joe? Joe! Oh, it. Anyway.
Yeah, so okay, back to my point, which I have forgotten, of course.
You read books.
No, that wasn't the point. I mean, social media platforms like, Facebook or Instagram, or even X, I believe they still have, X times more moderators and verifiers and basically people who take care of what's going on in the platform, with the content and all. Telegram has been, still is, and will probably continue to be the go-to platform for illegal drug sales, especially because I don't really believe that there's a lot of child sexual abuse going on in mainstreamy social media platforms.
You'd be
on
surprised.
dark web. Well, I'm not looking for it. If you are, go on.
Roger that.
No. But I'm saying that I don't believe Telegram will now or is already like this super squeaky clean social media space. There's still violence, graphic videos and pictures. There's still CSAM material, of course, and then drug sales are still flourishing, and obviously the cyber crookie.
It's not about the
content.
big tech or about the platforms. There's, big gangs and mafia behind it, and there's lobbying behind it, and it's not up for moderators, right, to kind of fix this problem. Okay, if Telegram is no longer lucrative for them, they will go somewhere else to the dark web and elsewhere, right? We need to kind of find the problem and then kill it at its core,
Source,
okay, Telegram might be a problem. They might be doing something that's still, not enough to kind of, kill the problem.
Yeah, exactly. And
Durov is still living the life, isn't he?
I guess.
He's now been released. I don't think that he has to stay in France all the time anymore. There's no limits for him to travel.
Yeah.
Good.
Well, at least maybe he's not a criminal, but we maybe know about some cyber criminals who are stealing data, leaking massive amounts of data in some of the research that we've discovered this year, the mother of all breaches, and RockU. Jörgita, you know lots about this.
Oh, lots, but I will be quick. So 2 colossal data breaches that we discovered this year in January. It was mother of all breaches. Essentially, it was a supermassive leak. It contained 26 billion records, right? Different records from LinkedIn, Twitter, all different Tencent accounts and elsewhere, right? A massive database of different information, user profiles, emails, whatnot, preferences. So much information about people was leaked on the dark web, but easily discoverable, back in January. And then in June, we had another massive leak that we discovered, again, on the dark web, but just kind of put there for everyone to check. Again, easy to discover if you know where to look, essentially. So it was what we called RockU 2024. It was a huge data set of different passwords. Our researchers who discovered the database said it contained 10 billion passwords, and it is the largest compilations of passwords ever been put together in one place and discovered, right? And we know that a lot of people are ignorant of data breaches because every data leak someone might call them, oh, this is the biggest one so far. There's always records, so it just feels like all the data has been leaked, but we still need to care about it. No?
It's hard because there's just so many notifications these days. And surveys also have shown that more and more people, at least in the States, they just don't bother with checking their data unless it's, of course, social security numbers or
fraudulent transaction, probably.
Yeah.
If your bank account gets swiped, then
Yeah.
you care.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I think as well. Like nobody.
but only after the fact.
Yeah,
Of course.
that's exactly what I think. People don't actually care about like the data being leaked itself. They care about the consequences of how that will affect you. So I have a friend who actually, I remembered this story. I had a friend who had her identity stolen because I think her information had been in a data breach, and somebody had taken a loan out in her name in the States. And yeah, she was completely ignorant to what had happened. She didn't even think that her credentials or whatever had been exposed, but she just cared about the aftermath. So,
That's completely normal, isn't it?
Quite
To
natural,
care
no?
what happens to you personally.
but you should probably care about or understand why it happens to prevent it from happening, right? And I feel like people don't care about the the before it happens. They just care after the fact.
Yeah, but then again, why do we? Or I'm not saying we do, but maybe Joe does. But why do we blame the individual for, having his or her data leaked? I
No
mean,
one's
We
blaming
don't.
no one.
We don't.
and I shouldn't even personally. I shouldn't put in any effort into protecting my data online. No, why?
Because it's your responsibility.
The organizations that are holding my information should protect my information
I get what you're saying.
and maybe get punished.
Yeah,
if they
but
don't
when they
protect it.
don't, what, you gonna take them to court? And
Yeah.
what?
Also, there's like
Okay.
there's like hundreds
Good
of
luck.
thousands of millions of people, including you, that they supposedly have data on. So it's like, how are they going to protect you and millions of other people? Surely they can't.
But they should protect. If a bank has my information, it is responsible
Yeah,
for
but
that
it's-
information to stay
Yeah, in
there
theory,
and secure.
in theory.
But it's
in
dependent-
practice, it's not what is happening, and we know that, right?
Also, it's about
Yeah,
where
yeah.
you put that information, surely. Where you choose to input that information, which could be risky.
Yeah, well, you don't send your PIN codes over the internet.
Yeah, but like
a-
internet banking and whatever.
Anyhow, we should care, and I agree that you want to put minimum effort there, right? So either you want to pay money to some provider, like insurance, right? I just kind of want someone to kind of have my back here. So in this case, it would be just very simple things. If you have a password that you are using from 5 years ago, or if you check. And it's on our password leak checker, right? Please do change that. Also, there are very simple things that just good hygiene. You do
Yeah.
it once and you don't need to do it again. For example, don't keep all your money in one account, which is associated with your credit card that you are using to kind of purchase things on the internet. There are some very simple things that you can effortlessly avoid being hacked, right?
Multi-factor authentication, stuff like that.
Yeah, but that's what you like. That's for everyday using the web stuff. What I was talking about was about
Regulation.
data. No, not regulation. Just back off. No, what I'm talking about is if a bank or a state institution holding your social security number or whatnot, that gets breached, and then surely it's not my responsibility not to click or anything because that has nothing to do with it. I mean, if a bank holds my data and it gets stolen, a bank needs to be held responsible for
Yeah,
that.
but-
And then they do if there's class action lawsuits and all that
But
stuff.
that's not what hackers do. So they get your email from one leak, like let's say
Yeah, yeah, I
LinkedIn
know.
leak. They combine it with what you have on social media. They combine it with your social security number leaked from some other source, and they build your entire identity, and that they can steal. So what you gonna take to court, like 5-6 companies because you kind of distributed your information all over the
And
place.
you'd never win against one. Like, very unlikely.
But there
Well,
are
people
some
might
payments.
not. People might not care about data breaches or their passwords being leaked, but there is one thing that people seem to really care about, and that is outages. People care about tech outages because it affects their lives, even the most
Yes,
menial
Joe.
tasks. Yeah, Joe.
Yeah, Joe,
idiot.
it would
No.
tremendously help your mental health, Joe.
Maybe CrowdStrike is on strike again.
Aha, that's why,
Aha.
Joe, you don't work. Aha, we fooled you.
Why do they care about that?
Uh-huh.
It's because some outages lead to like grounded flights and whatnot. It disturbs our daily life, and we can't go on with our life, right? And the probably biggest outage of this year was the CrowdStrike outage, right? 8.5 million computers kind of working on Windows operation system. They freezed, and that caused, systems malfunction all over the world, obviously. So, small things being like you suddenly wouldn't be able to pay for your coffee or breakfast, but for example, also we know that approximately 7,000 flights were grounded just by Delta Airlines because, the systems were were not functioning there, right? And it was all just because there was a faulty update pushed through multiple vendors, right? And that kind of faulty update caused the CrowdStrike system to go down. Everyone was pissed for so long. It cost businesses, millions, if not more, in again downtime, right? Because every minute that some businesses are not online, it means
Losing
losses.
the big bucks.
Big bucks.
Big bucks.
Big bucks were lost.
Yes, I remember this because I think we were traveling to London, and the lady.
And then suddenly you were not traveling.
No, we
to
were,
London.
but it was
Okay.
fine. We did, and I remember trying to get like on the train or whatever, or the flight or some kind of travel, and the lady was so bamboozled. She was like, and I think.
And that's how you remember CrowdStrike outage. Some lady going, aha.
No, but there's a wider meaning here, is that we struggle to live and breathe and work without technology. And that is a big problem because do we not remember the days where things were analog? And when,
I do you?
Yes.
Okay.
I had dial-up internet. It's still internet, but anyway.
That's not analog things. That's still
I-
internet things.
It sounds like a wooden stick.
I read.
And it works.
Yeah, just rub it together and then you get the internet.
Like go knock on someone's door
Yeah,
if you want
to
something.
play. What? Anyway,
But I get what you mean. We're over reliant on tech.
Yeah,
a bit.
precisely.
I mean, there's nothing wrong.
precise.
There's nothing wrong with tech, but just in case, have cash.
There are so many things wrong.
Did you just say there's nothing wrong with tech? Haven't you been saying that this whole
No.
year?
But we'll take it out of context and use it.
Yes, of
For
course.
the foreseeable future.
You do that for memes and shit, for like high profile stuff.
Yes.
People
High
will,
profile stuff.
yeah. There's nothing maybe wrong with technology inventions, but the way they're used is wrong most of the time.
They're overused.
The problem here is that we have a supply chain and we rely, on third parties a lot, right? And this is what happened in this case. And essentially, again, people shouldn't care. Companies that work with a lot of third-party companies, they need to have their, own plan in place, how to work with third parties, and what happens if something freezes, if something goes wrong, right? So
Like Joe.
blame CrowdStrike
Yeah.
for Joe outage.
Sorry, Joe.
Yeah, but anyways, you need to have the whole plan how you deal with that. If something goes wrong, so that you could still continue your operations. Right? It's quite normal. Diversify your risk. Have a backup plan, right? And it was. It's still ongoing because we know that Delta and CrowdStrike is in court now, kind of. Trying to play the blame game here, but this should serve as a lesson for the future.
But it won't.
It will for some, for companies with high stakes.
Yeah. Individuals, though, except maybe for travel plans that were disrupted. I mean, did we really suffer?
Yeah, in London, people couldn't buy things.
Ooh
Because
la
the-
la. So they should have cash. That's another
No,
lesson.
we're a cashless society.
Not buy things.
No, but that's the thing.
cashless
Being a
society.
cashless society
Well, that's
is maybe
COVID's
not
problem.
necessarily a solution.
But that's COVID.
That was coming before.
This is no problem.
Okay.
Why?
Voila.
Well, so you can't buy something at that point. So
But if you can't get around, you can't get to work, you can't do your things that you need to do at work. Like there was a Microsoft outage recently and people went nuts. They were like, I can't work, I can't do this, Microsoft need to fix this, blah, blah, blah. And they got really mad about it because they couldn't work.
well, but this happens from time to time. Content management system freezes, Joe freezes. You have to figure out how you go about it.
I'm sorry to be that guy, but there are countries in the world
Oh,
where electricity only works from 9 to 11 in the morning and maybe from 7 to 9 in the evening, and they survive somehow, yeah. They're not rich, but they survive.
But there's one guy who's gonna solve it all
precisely. There is
with internet and AI for everyone.
indeed. But should he be tending to his own garden, Ginterus? Who are we talking about?
Depends where the garden is.
His own garden.
Oh, yeah, I think he should.
I think he
Sam
should.
Altman is the guy that you are talking about. And what was the year like for OpenAI, the company of which he's the CEO?
Messy.
You said it was dramatic, but I think the end of 2023 was dramatic because the whole boardroom drama
Yeah.
took place in November last year. This year was more or less smooth sailing with a few exceptions of people resigning and leaving the company, also warning others that maybe profits are now being prioritized in comparison to AI safety and security. And mission to humanity, Sam Altman
I'm
does
unsurprised.
indeed try to move the company entirely to do the for-profit stuff, but he's still talking about humanity and how he's about, or how AGI and artificial general intelligence will save it. So there's a bit of a mismatch between what he's saying and what the company is doing. The company is valued at almost $150 billion right now, so it's a huge one already. Only 2.5 times poorer or smaller than SpaceX, 350 billions. Just news from yesterday. So it's big. It's releasing new models, smarter, and they can reason now, and it's looking good. Also, competition isn't sleeping, obviously, and even sometimes making fun of Microsoft's statements. Microsoft, as we know, is a major investor into OpenAI, and when the Microsoft releases a statement, so look at that and look at that. Google says, well, it's someone else's model they're using. We're building our own models.
Yeah,
So,
Google got a quantum chip that's gonna, decrypt all the Bitcoin and whatnot. That's gonna be.
Oi, oi, oi.
But that's for the prediction
Ah,
podcast.
that
We're gonna
is for-
predict all the secrets being leaked.
Stay tuned.
Yeah. So also, OpenAI is fighting in courts with Elon Musk.
Ha.
Musk likes courts very much. He's accusing people left and right of everything, basically. But in case of OpenAI, he's again accusing the company of prioritizing profits over public good and safety. We'll see where it goes. There's a couple of new models released just recently. ChatGPT Pro can be yours for $200 per month.
Woo!
And then Sora is finally released, also the text-to-video. Groundbreaking,
But
supposedly.
it kind of
model.
sucks.
Yeah. Have you seen that gymnastics
Yes.
is the way to check?
Yes.
Yeah. So it was a bit of a roller coaster, but it's smooth. It's pretty slow. It's I think something is coming next year, but people keep talking, including Altman, about AGI and the possibility of it hitting us sooner rather than later. But it's so far not here yet. If in case you wanted to ask me something about OpenAI and Sam Altman, please do.
You are an open book on OpenAI.
Aha.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
There's not much to say about Altman anymore, right? And
No.
That's the thing. I mean, he is talking.
Do you think he'll cozy up with Trump? Maybe not.
They all are gonna try to kiss his
Zuckerberg
ass.
is now, and maybe he'll cozy up a little bit
You
with
do
Trump.
what you need to do.
Yeah, but he. Anyway.
But if Musk decides that Sam Altman, he has a grudge.
Oh,
You
Sam
need
Altman-
to cozy up to Musk, not
Yeah.
Trump.
Yeah.
But then Sam Altman said he was really sad that they've got a broken relationship, and he tried to give him a hug
I
or
don't
something.
think
and
Musk cares that he's sad.
yeah,
And Musk, let us remind that he was one of the co-founders of OpenAI, and he was pals with Altman. But then
they had a
he left the
dispute.
company. There was a dispute, and Musk also signed this letter of open letter of warning that the AI should not be developed too quickly because of safety.
Who, Musk?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's weird.
Well,
You're
it's-
surprised?
I am surprised.
I think he only did it because of his feud with Altman.
Well, yeah,
he
because
has his
he's-
own
exactly.
AI company. Yeah.
Because he
Idiot.
can't catch up with the Grok thing.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
Grok also probably sucks. Grok.
Grok.
Joe, are you with us? Joe? Hello?
we should wrap it up and go right about CrowdStrike outage, maybe.
Aha! Maybe we should.
But joking, it's not CrowdStrike to blame.
No. Joe!
You can't take our job just yet.
By virtue of the fact that, as our audience has proven, all of you are generated by AI, and I am the only actually real entity on this entire channel. Hello, guys, where are you? Oh damn, here we go again.